Hey, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be focusing on just this book here. This is called Mushi by Saiko Kaburagi, another horror work. So this here is a part of the mystery splatter selection. I'm not sure if there's actually more of this. I can only see that. But this one I picked up from Japan Book Hunter. They were doing a live sale a while ago, and I did want to get a Saiko Kaburagi book for quite a while. So the manga is actually composed of a duo. So the writer goes by Saiko Kaburagi and the illustrator goes by Natsuki Hiura. And they debuted in 1986 in Solitaire, which is a shoujo horror manga magazine, which I've never heard of before. And I was really interested because there are rumors that one of them, I don't know who, either the writer or the illustrator, was arrested for the corpse abandonment of their mother. So that means after their mother died, they left the body in the house and did not report it. I was told, or according to Sean, sometimes that can happen in Japan when they want to continue receiving the benefit, like social payments or benefit payments that the elderly get from the government. So really interesting. And yeah, my first book from them. Some of the other stuff can be quite hard to get, and this is a collection of different one-shots. Overall, I would say this was okay. Nothing too mind-blowing, but it's just some nice horror works. As it says here, mystery splatter works. So yeah, I will be going through every story in this book because how else would you be able to see inside this book otherwise? This one was put out in 1994, so a little bit after the Hibari and Lemon stuff. So I think we've got 5 here, but let's start off with the first one, Mushi. It says something like eaten by insects, pretty much, and it is. A lot of these stories are pretty straightforward, but I do love exploring new mangaka in the horror world. So essentially this story starts off with this girl who she is among her other classmates and is self-conscious of her weight, and she meets this woman in a shop that offers her a method to lose weight fast, and that already is a red flag. But as things happen, she eventually accepts and goes to this woman's house, starts drinking this fluid that is somehow related to these insects that are eating the vegetables. And as you can see, she's a bit surprised because they look like they have human faces. So she feels that she's having nightmares because of it. And of course, as she drinks it, she coughs up one of those insects, human face worm things. So you can kind of tell where things are going, and from the illustrations that we saw before, because it's later revealed that the drink is cultivated through these insects that will pretty much eat your weight away for you. I mean, it's creepy, but it worked for her. But nothing is ever free. The consequences are that the worms eventually consume you and mutate your entire body. So this is the woman. She discovers her body completely mutated, tries cutting the worms off, but they grow back even stronger. And so when the classmates visit, they encounter her being slowly consumed by these worm-looking things. Honestly, a great story to start off the book. Standard, but I love the texture of these worms. They feel, if you look at the worms by themselves only, they remind me a lot of Hino Hideshi. Sometimes he has these dotted textures on his monsters and sort of stuff, so found that really cool. So yeah, quite a good one. I think probably one of my favorites of the whole book. The next one is called Tenkosei, which is transfer student. This story was a little bit more confusing for me because it's about a girl who transfers to a school that her cousin is at, and I guess there's some sort of jealousy that comes about with that, and horrors ensue with bullying, and eventually, yeah, so we get more of the bullying here, but it eventually escalates to some murders that happen in the school. Very graphic, very graphic. So overall, I would say the gore level of this book is not too crazy. It's nothing as crazy as something like Tanima Yumeji compared to the recent stuff I've read, but it's still good, I would say. And something that really sets apart Saiko Kaburagi's work, or like when you see these facial expressions, you know it's Saiko Kaburagi, are these faces here. So whenever a character is smiling like this, they have this specific expression and look to their face with the screen tones and whatnot that you know it's Saiko Kaburagi. So I like that. I like that about mangaka, when you can easily identify who they are from their art. But yeah, it just descends into a murder fest. Yeah, so that one was okay, but a little bit confusing. And then the third story is called The Female Student Who Was Kissed. Something like that. And it's about a guy who pretty much seduces and exploits women. They fall stupidly in love for him, and they take their own lives because of him, because he's a stuck-up sort of guy. The student here has troubles at her own home, but here he is, just going up, meeting other women. Actually, not women, girls. But what we have here is this part of it was confusing. I think this is a woman taking her own life because of him, but she is able to take revenge on him by cursing him with something like some doll curse of sorts. I don't really know, but here are the dolls. He starts getting paranoid, so she did something to get revenge on him, and we see him going crazy at the end. That one was okay too, also a little bit confusing. Alright, so we're moving on to the second half of the book. We've got Lonely Ability. This is what I'm saying. You see that expression there? Screen tone, the dots, the face. Very Saiko Kaburagi, like. I mean, it is them, but I'm saying like it's very distinct for them. This one, Lonely Ability, is also about a guy, but this guy is he's not like the other guy that seduces, but he gets very jealous, or he can't stand being broken up with. So he has this ability where he can like project himself and then kill his partners, because he just can't stand being broken up with. He can't stand being hated. So he just has these supernatural powers. And the story just goes about with him, here's the face again, with him trying to get with another girl, and she doesn't want it, she hates him, and he goes crazy with his powers again. He's just psychotic. Pretty pathetic and psychotic. Here we have flesh being torn off, and yet another one of those distinct faces. Alright, so that one was, I guess, okay. It's very violent. Then we move on to The Secret of the Sisters, Shimai Sisters, I think, or just Sisters. This is probably my favorite out of the entire book. So we start off the story with these two sisters. They are killing off their father, who actually cheated on their mother, and they take away the finger with the ring, and they bury the bodies. So this is a secret with these two sisters that take revenge on their family. So they go home. That's just the maid that forces them to do homework and whatnot. And out of the two, the sister with the black hair is the one who initiates all these murders more. So for example, she poisons the maid, cuts up the body, disposes of it. So the blonde sister is more of like, she follows the sister with black hair, And so their mother comes back with a new guy here. New guy looks a bit suspicious. The sisters are also suspicious of him, and this sister's like, okay, he's probably just here just to marry mum for her money, for her house, for all the luxury. And they bait him out because he's drunk. And he is pushed off a cliff and dies. I guess I wouldn't normally expect for intestines to be ripped out like that when falling off a cliff, but I guess everything else makes sense, but I don't know. Well, whatever. So I guess you can fall on your stomach, so that's fine. So they discover that, and then at home, mum finds the ring that her husband had in the sister's like little box. Here it is. And she realizes, okay, it's probably the sisters, her children, that had killed her husband. And so she grabs one of them, and then we realize in a little twist that the sister with black hair has actually been dead the whole time. So she's been guiding the sister who's alive as like a ghost or a spirit of sorts, and telling her to kill all these people. And in the end, they end up killing their mum as well. And here she is just talking to herself, because we now know that the other sister is dead. And so, maybe it wasn't for their mum's sake, because even though we started the story with killing their father who cheated on her, we thought it was for her sake, but nope. She dies in the end as well. So yeah, probably my favorite one. I did like that twist in the end. And finally, we have a story called Dinner. So a couple of students, they are invited by this rich looking guy to their mansion. And when they get there, he starts talking about cannibalism. There's another one of the faces. And of course, you can probably predict it, he is a cannibal himself. So one of the students that get led there are killed, chopped up into meat. The remaining girl, however, so here it is. The remaining girl, though, there's a little bit of a twist, because she herself actually reveals, I do want to show this off, another one of those faces. She reveals that she's also a cannibal, and her dad comes, this is her dad, comes to her rescue, or not rescue, she kind of planned this, and actually goes about eating this first cannibal instead. And it's like there's some backstory about their family. That's why they have these sharp teeth, being cannibals and all that. Absolutely gone. And yeah, so that was Mushi by Saiko Kaburagi, my first read from them, my only book from them so far. I will pick up more in the future if I find them to be in stock and less on the expensive side, but I think a pretty good introduction into their works. The Sisters one, The Secret of the Sisters, was my favorite. My least favorite probably would have been the second one, the transfer student one, or the female student who was kissed. I think those ones, and I think the first story, the titular Mushi one, was pretty solid too. So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. We'll hopefully get some more Saiko Kaburagi in the future. See you in the next one. Bye.